Imagine a 58-year-old man sitting in the consultation room of an exclusive clinic in Manhattan. The doctor speaks with extreme caution. You are showing signs of early cognitive decline. The man stares blankly at the ceiling. Just 3 years ago, this was one of the most successful executives at a Fortune 500 company. Is this tragedy unique to him? Absolutely not. Right now, nearly 7 million people in the United States alone are living with Alzheimer's and dementia. By 2050, that number is projected to skyrocket to nearly 13 million. The World Health Organization's forecast is even more staggering. They warn that by 2050, the global number of dementia patients will approach a staggering 150 million, nearly triple the current figure. But listen closely to what comes next. In 2009, a Japanese neuroscientist discovered a specific activity that explosively boosted the cognitive functions of men in their 40s and 50s by over 50% in just 2 months. Was it crossword puzzles? No. Meditation? No. The full story of this shocking study reveals what might just be the most powerful brain rejuvenation activity humanity has ever discovered. Today, we are going to dissect every detail. If you've hit the subscribe button, let's begin. First, we must understand the work of one brilliant scientist. This is Dr. Ryuta Kawashima, director of the Institute of Development, Aging, and Cancer at Japan's Tohoku University. He is a titan in the field of neuroscience, having dedicated his life to studying neuroplasticity and cognitive aging. In simple terms, how our brains age and change over time. Yet, to Americans and millions around the globe, he's better known for something else entirely. He is the mastermind behind the 2005 mega-hit Nintendo DS game Brain Age, which swept the globe and sold over 33 million copies. By turning his research into a mainstream experience, he proved that stimulating the brain could actively improve cognitive function. His methods successfully improved the memory of real dementia patients, propelling him to instant stardom. The royalties from this single game alone brought in tens of millions of dollars. But here is where the story takes a truly unexpected turn. One day in 2009, the major motorcycle manufacturer Yamaha Motor approached him with a highly unusual request. Does riding a motorcycle affect the brain differently than driving a car? Why would they ask such a specific question? For decades, an unverified rumor had been circulating among riders worldwide that riding a motorcycle clears your head and keeps your mind sharp as you age. It was a study directly funded by Yamaha. Naturally, you might be a bit skeptical, but Dr. Kawashima was no third-rate academic willing to fabricate data for a marketing campaign. Instead of setting out to just prove a point for a brand, he designed a flawless, rigorously controlled experiment to determine if this cognitive effect actually existed. Dr. Kawashima recruited 22 men in their 40s and 50s, but the selection criteria were extreme. They had to hold a valid motorcycle license, but they must not have ridden for at least a decade. Why such a specific requirement? Because if he tested daily riders, it would be impossible to prove causality. Did riding change their brains, or were their brains just wired that way to begin with? With the subjects chosen, the experiment began. Group A was instructed to use a motorcycle for all their daily transportation for 2 months, from commuting to work to running grocery errands. Group B lived their lives normally, strictly using cars and avoiding motorcycles entirely. 2 months, or exactly 60 days, passed. The subjects returned, and Dr. Kawashima precisely measured their brain functions, including concentration and information processing speed. The moment he analyzed the data, he couldn't believe his eyes. He had to double and triple check the results. There is a specific test where the subject must recite a sequence of numbers backwards. It is a standard diagnostic tool for early dementia, designed to measure short-term memory and the executive function of the frontal lobe. In this exact test, the scores of Group A, the daily motorcycle riders, explosively surged by over 50%. To put this in perspective, in neuroscience, a mere 10% improvement is enough to turn the academic world upside down. A 30% jump would be hailed as a potential miracle drug. Yet here was a 50% improvement, achieved without drugs, without surgery, simply by riding a motorcycle for 2 months. Statistically significant, massive improvements were also seen in spatial awareness and the ability to multitask. And what about Group B, who comfortably drove around in their cars? Their scores actually dropped slightly. The brains of these men in their 40s and 50s had begun to subtly decline over the course of just 2 months. Meanwhile, the aging brains of Group A had experienced a miracle. They had quite literally grown younger in just 60 days. So, why exactly did this happen? The truly shocking truth was found in the riders' brain scans. When Dr. Kawashima tracked real-time blood flow using portable measuring devices, he discovered that the moment they rode a motorcycle, the right prefrontal cortex, the brain's command center responsible for emotion, memory, and decision-making, was firing on all cylinders. And what about driving a car? The prefrontal cortex showed almost no activation. Dr. Kawashima states it bluntly: a car is a comfortable machine. It does not activate our brains. Surrounded by the conveniences of modern cars like cruise control and lane keeping assist, your brain has essentially slipped into sleep mode. But a motorcycle is entirely different. Human balance is the only safety mechanism. You must constantly calculate the road surface and the wind just to keep from falling over. It is literally a cognitive load bomb. This is neuroplasticity in action. Use your brain and it gets stronger. Neglect it and it weakens. It's the exact same principle behind why London taxi drivers who memorize complex city streets have unusually large hippocampi, or why pro gamers and professional musicians develop physically different neural pathways. The benefits don't stop there. The riders testified that they made fewer mistakes at work and generally felt happier. One man on the autism spectrum, who had been riding for 35 years, even overcame severe social challenges to reinvent himself as a documentary filmmaker. He proudly declared, "Motorcycles made a super version of me." A study by Dr. Don Vaughn at UCLA also proved the immediate effects. Just 20 minutes of riding reduced the stress hormone cortisol by 28% while sending focus levels soaring. So, should you go out and get a motorcycle license right now? Not necessarily. There is a crucial catch to this study. All the participants had previous riding experience. If a complete beginner hops on a motorcycle, their brain doesn't experience cognitive activation, it enters a terrified survival mode. And of course, the risk of accidents can never be ignored. The true message this study leaves us with is this: your brain responds exactly to what you do every single day. An automated life fixed with a single click, a comfortable sofa, and a cozy car, these are all whispering to your brain, you can rest now. It's okay to grow old. And your brain honestly follows that signal, slowly aging away. It doesn't have to be a motorcycle. Learn a new instrument, walk down an unfamiliar street, or read a foreign language out loud. Throw unfamiliar challenges into your daily routine and command your brain, I am still alive. Keep working. Depending on how you use it right now, your brain can either age or grow young once again. What kind of stimulus will you give your brain today? The secret to smart aging, proven by Dr. Kawashima, lies right here.